I'm getting a very strong beat. The groove is strong with this one. You're probably wondering, what is this guy talking about? Stay tuned, you'll find out. Hey, this is Raul with Bass Musician Magazine, and now that I've got your curiosity, you're probably wondering, what is this all about? Well, today we're going to take a really close look at something called a Noggin Rocker. Basically, what the Noggin Rocker is a very interesting, low-tech approach to having like a personal amplifier so that you can hear yourself when you're playing a bass or an electric guitar, an instrument that isn't designed to have the acoustics so that you can hear it readily. I know a lot of us will use small practice amps. Sometimes we've got ourselves set up with headphones and a plug-in, but this is a very non-electrical way to be able to hear yourself practicing and playing, and it allows sound to come in as well so that you could technically practice along with something you're hearing kind of in your surroundings. So how exactly does this work? Well, in this hand you can see I have my stethoscope. And the way stethoscopes work, basic components, it has something called a diaphragm on this. Now the diaphragm is a very thin plastic kind of laminate that when sound and vibrations hit it, it transfers that through these tubes, because inside of these tubes there's air. Now, if you go deeply into the physics of sound, sound travels in waves, and when those air waves hit our eardrums, they vibrate, and those vibrations on our eardrums stimulate the bones of our middle ear, and it goes into our nervous system, and we can hear sound. So, stethoscopes, when a doctor is listening to your chest, what it's doing is it's keeping him from having to put his ear over your heart to hear clearly. It's kind of like an extension cord of sound. Now, let's look at a Noggin Rocker. Noggin Rocker has a diaphragm exactly like a stethoscope. It too has a diaphragm on here, but the difference is this diaphragm has a Velcro attachment so that we can put this onto our bass or onto an electric guitar. Then you've got tubing so that the sound waves can travel through the tubing, and at this instance it's a little long, but it is trimmable so that if you're kind of going, let me find the right length for myself, you could make this shorter. If you're going, wow, that looks pretty curly, a little time with a hair dryer and you can straighten this right out. So that's not as much of an issue. And then the earpieces, where I had earpieces here. These are earpieces for the Noggin Rocker, and there's two varieties. There's these yellow ones, which are a little on the bigger side, and there's some very comfortable soft gel blue ones that are kind of smaller and maybe will fit in an ear canal a little better. Let's have a close look at how this attaches onto a bass. So let's have a look at the setup for a Noggin Rocker. Basically what you want to do is find the sweet spot on your instrument, and it can be at the head of the neck, or in this case kind of at the heel, right behind where the neck bolts onto my bass. Basically what I've done is I've attached the little, it's got a little adhesive fabric piece that will lock in with the Velcro, and simply just put it on there. There can be adjustments in volume by kind of tightening and loosening the diaphragm. Here's a really good chance to see the earpieces that are kind of the larger variety, but I've got the softer, smaller blue ones, and I'll go off and say they're both about the same softness. They're just smaller, and so they were a little more comfortable for me. Well, there you have it. We've had a close look at a Noggin Rocker, and as you can tell, this might have some applications for your specific circumstances. When I was growing up, one of my favorite things to do was to play myself to sleep, but I didn't want to keep everybody in the house awake. So if I had something like this, I could have these in my ears, I could be playing away, and nobody really hears much of anything, so it's kind of a personal amplifier. Another great thing about this is no electricity required. You can use this anywhere you go, and it's not going to need batteries or complicated things, and it's a very durable setup because it's very, very simple. Another great feature about this is price. This is a kind of inexpensive approach to be able to hear yourself, and if you're thinking about the holidays as they're coming up, this could be a really good stocking stuffer for that favorite bass player or guitar playing friend that you might have. So, you've seen this here, a Noggin Rocker, Bass Musician Magazine, bringing you the latest and the greatest in the world of bass.